Right, good morning, Formula 7 racers. We are live here for round 6 in bronze around the infamous Singapore circuit, the longest race on the calendar for these drivers. I'm joined by fellow bronze league director Billy. And yeah, Singapore is one of those that always really pushes cars to the limit as well as drivers. And it's a real test of ability, skill, and of course concentration, which are three of the main components, of course.
Yeah, morning everyone. It is one of those tracks where I think most people probably hate it, but it's probably one of my favourite tracks on the calendar, to be honest with you. I don't know why, I just really enjoy this track.
It's one of those tracks that, as I say, really test you to the limit. So if you are one of those drivers who loves a challenge, then it is definitely one of those tracks where you get that edge. You really want to drive it. You want to push drivers to the limit. You want to see if they can make mistakes. And with bronze, I like to call it the learning division. We're going to see what a lot of these drivers do have tonight. Well, I say tonight because it's midnight in
Yeah,
Singapore, but of course, daytime here in the UK. I think it'll be either Ginaldi or Liam first out the pits. We'll keep an eye on that one as we just set everything up here. Yeah, Nathan, one of your favourite tracks as well. No, Vega, it is short. It was going to be full, but unfortunately we had a few drivers drop out and a few not turn up. So we are going to run short yet again. However, with it being one of the longest races on the calendar, I don't think we'll lose out on too much. I can't hear any game sound, so I'm just going to double check the settings here. Let me know if you can in the chat as well, guys. Audio settings.
see if I can check. See if I can get out the stream quickly.
I really can't hear anything. Hopefully you can on stream. Just let me know if you can't. It'd be a
If
real
you go
shame.
into
Oh, there we go. Could
settings
I
and
could I,
click
could
the
I
master
pause it?
lane,
Yeah, I've paused it. And it's
yeah,
it's
cool.
done it. So yeah, we're all good. One ball with Liam. Yeah, he's gonna start. He's gonna be the first one over the line probably to start his first flying lap. Of course, a driver who is your current driver, Billy, for Mercedes
He is,
in
yeah.
realistic. How's it feel to become a team boss now finally after all this time of course, wanting to do
I've been
so?
waiting for so long, yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. I'm excited to. I think just coming in and obviously already having drivers and everything already set up for you is good, but when I can really sort of make it my own, it will be even better. So hopefully we start to pick up some results.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, in the Mercedes team, not a bad car, of course, to be managing or team, but of course, lots of pressure on those two drivers, and including Liam today, with his team boss watching on. Let's see what he can do around the streets here at Singapore. And do you know what, Billy? Since he is your driver, I'll let you take us through a flying lap here on the streets.
Perfect. Yeah, so down into turn one, he's took it nicely down into what is probably turn three. I don't actually know
Yeah,
the
three now
corner
going four,
numbers.
five.
You've got to carry a lot of speed through this corner, which Liam does perfectly. Kept it in third gear, just keep the car stable. And they've got a long straight. That's probably the best opportunity for overtaking in this race. Down into a quick left-hander, a little bit wide for Liam. And a 90-degree corner down into first gear for Liam there, which is probably not the best gears to be going through. Liam's always in a low gear here by the looks of it, but down in towards the second part of the lap, again a little bit wide. Cut back over to the left to open up the corner and carry as much speed through as you can. Now you've got a tight hairpin, you can go really wide here. Nice apex for Liam. And down towards sector 3. It's not been a bad lap. A few mishaps, but a good banker by the looks of it. Down towards the technical part of the track now. Gets turned in nicely, but it is invalid on this one. The Alpine goes through, so the Alpine will be the first to set a lap by the looks of it.
I think that was Mia Grandis. Yeah, it is Mia Grandis. Unfortunately for Liam, as you say, it was a bit of a scruffy lap in the beginning, but he really made it up in sector two there. So it's a little bit of a shame for him to obviously invalidate when he did. But let's see Mia Grandis there, the Norwegian, of course, a race winner this season. Let's see what kind of benchmark he'll set for the drivers. A 139.342. Very, very good banker there for Liam. Let's see if we can find the next driver on the line. Over the
TJ
line, I
Harvey,
think
I think.
it is DJ Harvey who goes provisional pole with 39.2, just beating Mia Granit. A very good lap from him. We're now on board with Marshall Energy making his debut here. A 140.1, a very, very good benchmark there set for him as well.
Fear Jack coming round the last couple of corners.
Yeah, see what he can do. He had a very, very scruffy, let's just say, racing colour that he'd be
Ooh,
looking
an Alvaro.
to improve. And of course, the Ferrari team was hitting the Haas driver, the Ferrari Academy driver, so them two might have a few words to say after that. But yeah, Fear Jack does a 139.8 and goes provisional P3 there. It's a very good lap from him. Vega just displaced him there for 139.4. Good lap there from him. Hooky were 139.7 at times.
It comes right up to the
Started
line.
really come through.
Only P3.
Yep. And Jennifer Lee now coming through the final corner as well in the Red Bull. His teammate Crippy is missing the championship leader today. Let's see what his teammate Jennifer can do. Goes P7 with a 140 flat.
Hodges made a mistake, so he's not going to be challenging the top guys.
Yeah, on board with Taylor now for his first lap in bronze. Great to see Taylor back on the grid. Of course, one of the OGs here in Formula 7 racing. On the medium tyre, let's see what he can do, a 140.5. And to be honest, since he's not played the game much, that's a pretty respectable time, especially on the mediums.
Yeah, especially on the mediums. It'll be quite a big delta around here as well, I think, for the mediums to the softs there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm on board now with the Mercedes of AD, who's managed to get out of bed today. It's great to see. Great to see we've got AD back on the track on day, but we love it to see what AD can do as well as he comes to the final couple of corners in that Mercedes. Let's see what he can do and where he can put himself in the pecking order as he comes up to the line. Now he goes provisional pole with 139 flat. A great lap there from the Mercedes driver, and I'm not gonna lie, that's caught me by surprise to see what his teammate SDN
I think we're going to see a Mercedes 1-2 at the moment, because SDN is on a really good lap. He was purple 3 sector 1. And this Red Bull's in the way, but he's moved out.
He's actually gave him a very, very good slipstream then.
He has, yeah.
Red Bull generally inadvertently. You've got to be very careful coming out of that corner, by the way. If you go over the white line, which is very deceptive, it will invalidate your lap. So I think that'll be one to watch in the race as well in terms of picking up track limits, because it's very easy to do around here. Despite it obviously being a street circuit, many, many places where you can pick up warnings and invalidations. So the yellow flag there in centre 2 for McLaren, I think it's just coming in on the in lap. But let's see as SDN comes round the final corner up towards the line for his first lap. He did go wide, he had to catch the car, but a 138.897 just beats his teammate to provisional pole by just over 1/10 of a second. Very, very good lap there from the two Mercedes drivers.
Yeah, great laps from the Mercs there, and we've got Liam coming back around the final corner to start his second lap. Obviously after elevating the first time around.
The drink really isn't doing the job, because it took me a little bit longer than I expected to find Liam. But here he is, he is the driver. He's a little bit out of sync as we do, so he did invalidate his first run. But it did look good, so let's see if he can really hook it up. He touches the curb, he's going to cost him a lot of time down this straight. The main straight on the track, he's probably going to lose 2 or 3 tenths. Just that one area, as you can see him kicking up a lot of marbles there. That is the ideal line, run up to the wall. However, of course, EAB and EA, they don't count the esports line as the actual racing line, so you will pick up marbles doing that. Going in gear 4 this time, on for gear 2. It's very low gears, as you mentioned last time, Billy. He is opting to run, and it's causing a lot of wheel spin for him, which is causing him a little bit of issue on corner exit. But here he comes, and he comes into one of those technical corners on track. He's already lost the car again. But let's see now, he's opting for first. That's fine through here, as long as he's tentative on the throttle, carry all the momentum. He does that well. He opts for the wider line this time rather than hugging the apex like he did on his first run. As he comes in towards sector 3 now. Again, when I watch a white line on the exit, he had a lot more margin there, Liam. Again, I think he's just trying to get a lap on the board, which you cannot blame him for at all. He doesn't invalidate the same car he does. Took a little bit of curb, but probably the right amount. As the car gets out of the way very well there, the Mercedes, so credit to them for that. As the same, just continuous momentum now into the technical part of the track. Almost like a mini S section. As he's going to come through the final corner, you're going to want to go to 6th, then down to 5th, carry the momentum as he does, and up towards the line comes the McLaren driver. He goes original P7 with 39.5. And it's about what you'd expect for his first run here in qualifying. However, he's only going to have one more set of tyres to set a representative lap, and he's going to have to really send it to catch up to the front runners here.
He is. I mean, from like you say, halfway through the lap, it was a bit of a scruffy lap again, but he's still up in P7. So if he can get back into the pits, wait a little bit, get back out on the new tyres, he might be able to put it a little bit higher.
Yeah, Mia Grandis has just started his flying lap as well. Currently down in P4. Very, very good lap for him. But the Mercedes, as we say, looking at the front row. I'm not gonna lie, waking up here this morning, I wasn't expecting to say that. Mia Grandis is half a tenth up in Sector 1 already. He's going to need to keep building on that now if he wants to challenge those Merc drivers going in towards turn 7 now. Carrying a lot of momentum around there. Very, very good for him. Opt for gear 3 again. Drivers opted for gear 3 rather than gear 2 at Liam. Seems like a much, much better run out of there as Mia Grandis comes through the technical section now. Seems like a very, very good lap from Mia. That's an awful camera
Ginaldi's coming
angle.
up to the line as well, just so you know.
So we'll go back
It
on
looks like
board.
he's going to go
Ginaldi
quickest,
goes
which he
on
does.
pole at 38.6 as Mia Grandis hits the wall on exit of the chicane. That's going to cost him a lot of time there. But as you say, Ginaldi on pole. Apologies to Ginaldi, I didn't realise he was on the lap there, but that's an absolutely brilliant lap there from the Dutchman. He's clearly putting the effort where he can to get fully set up for this weekend, and he's going to have another run at it as well to try and improve upon his time. But for one shot, very, very good time there from Ginaldi. We'll stay on. I think Mia's just backed out of his lap. Yeah, one too many mistakes. Vega, of course, his Norwegian counterpart, is pushing though in Sector 2, currently 2/10 up. According to Delta.
Through that corner.
Yeah. Vega's got a very competitive time trial time. For a bronze driver anyways. He's up in the low 38s. So he could be one to challenge the front runners here if he could hook it all together. But of course we've got Mike there rooting for Hooky. Hooky, of course. One of the OGs. He hasn't been here that long, Hooky, but he's absolutely amazing to talk to in the Discord. An absolutely phenomenal driver. As you can see, Vega now coming through Sector 3, of course, the technical section, as you say. He set a purple Sector 2 despite making a little error. So let's see what he can do in Sector 3. He's got to keep pushing on now. He's got to take those tyres right to the limit. They're going to be absolutely screaming, going through so many corners, of course, around this technical Singapore circuit. As he comes through the final corner now, of course, short shifting down. That's probably invalid. It is invalid. Oh, that's so devastating. He got through the whole lap in the final corner, just catches the Alfa Romeo driver out. Mia Grandis in the wall. Mia Grandis is in the wall. So this second run for him has not been as lucrative as the first. Hooky goes provisional pole. Well, 138.486, the Welshman.
Here comes Faisal.
With a stonking lap. Faisal now.
And Faisal goes P1.
Does a 38 flat. What a lap there from him. Red is just coming into Sector 3 now as well. I think the next one across the line will be a Red Bull. I think that's of Jennifer. Jennifer just letting the Haas go through there.
Oh, he's...
I think it's Taylor who's just on a lap, so the next one to set a lap will be Red Wildfire. However, she is down on her time here. As my G said, I might turn up sick for silver. It's alright. We'll both be bad together. It's alright, it's the Alpine way. As Jelliff comes at the pit time, must have made a mistake on his lap. Margin for energy also doing the same. I think Taylor is just pushing on his lap in Sector 1. We'll go on board with him and see what he can do on his lap. Of course, medium run the first time out. Sector 1 split. It's only 1.5 tenths up. It goes wide there, Taylor, as well. Really struggling. Losing the car in the back end. Of course, Taylor won't be too adept to setups, you'd think. So this is probably a time trial setup, which isn't ideal for him. Yeah, Jay, if you could retire, that'd be grand, mate. As you can see, Taylor really struggling here to hook the car up. However, if there is one place to get your mojo back, it is bronze for sure. So he is in the right division for him. Let's see if he can really carry the momentum in Sector 2. He's just 1.1 seconds up. So that would put him around the 39.9s, which would be around about P12 with one sector to go. So he's got to continue carrying that momentum as the yellow flag for Mercedes there in Sector 1, just on an outlap. The Mercedes coming out in tandem here as well for what I think will be their final flying run, as they weren't quite able to get it right on the second run. As Taylor comes through the final corner now, the half driver he takes way too much curb.
Would have been 39.1 as well, which would have put him in P6, sorry.
Yeah, he really improved. He had a very scruffy first, but in the second and third, he really did hook it up really well then. We'll go on board.
Do you reckon he can get that round for another run? Can be tight. And if he does, he's going
It
to
depends on
round.
fuel, but he's also just burnt his tyres in the process of doing a lap here, so he's going to lose so much time from that. We'll stay on board with 80 here. 80 is 3 tenths up. Coming out the sector 2 split. So 80 looking to reclaim the pole that was his, but he's going to need a second though. He's a second off currently Faisal's time. Faisal's setting an absolutely stonking lap there. At the top of the timesheet, let's see as he comes through sector 3 now. The Mercedes driver really counting the momentum through there. He's going to have to really send it through here. You can just see struggling to really carry the momentum through as he comes up towards the final corner now. He's backed out of the lap. He's coming to the pits.
That's been down on his time coming out of the penultimate corner there, but seems a strange one to pit that late. Maybe he thinks he can get in, change tyres and go again.
Maybe, yes. That's the only logical explanation, but it's going to be tight. His teammate SDN has just started his final flying lap as well. We'll stay on board with him and see what he can do as he gets a little bit of a snap. Because out frames off the car!
Massive snap.
I don't know how he's held that. That was absolutely amazing car control from SDN. And I think DJ Harvey is 4 temps up. Coming out of sector 2 here, the Williams driver. Harvey on for a really good lap here in the Williams. If he can nail this third sector, let's see what he can do in that Williams. He comes through into the final part of the lap, the technical part of the lap. No mistakes here, and he's going to set an absolutely stonking lap here as Harvey. He's going to challenge his good friend of Faisal. Just one corner left to go. Let's see what Harvey can do. Oh, that's way wide. That's invalid, yeah. I seen that coming a mile off, to be honest. That would have been 7.
P2 as well.
Yeah. That is so unfortunate for Harvey then. Absolute heartbreak. Mia Grandis is a 10th and a half up at the minute as well in the Alpine. And what is his third run? His second run didn't go well. Let's see. His third time is the charm for the Norwegian driver. Carrying a lot of momentum out of the chicane in third gear. Choosing to go higher gears. Seeing the payoff there again. 2.5 temps up for Mia holding that time. Let's see if he can really send it here in sector 3. You want to just clip the curve as he does. Lovely there. Lifts up a little bit too much there. He had a lot more margin to work with. But you can understand him needing to get a lap in here at the end with him down to P7. 40 seconds here to go for qualifying here in Singapore. Let's see what Norwegian driver Mia Grandis can do on what should be his final run here in qualifying up towards the line. Comes Norwegian in the Alpine. He goes P2 with 38.4. It is currently an Alpine 1-2. But don't write off the likes of Ginaudi, Hooky. 80 is on an outlap, as you say. He must have come in to do exactly as you say, bolt on a new set of tyres and go again. He feels there's more pace in him for this final run.
He's not going to make it though. He's not made the line, so 80's going to have done all he can.
Yep. However, the pace from 80 is definitely strong. He's going to have to carry it through in the race, so checkered flag it is out. I'm very intrigued to see what Ginaudi can do here.
He's just over 2 temps up.
He is 6 temps up. Is Ginaudi. An absolutely stonking time. He goes a bit wide there though. Would have had to go off the throttle just to not invalidate. So not ideal in that scenario. Goes a little bit deep as well into that corner. I think he can sense that this is going to be a good lap, and he just needs to hold it. He has 6 temps to put him on pole. He just needs to carry the momentum through sector 3. Faisal can do no more to respond either. Let's see if the Dutch
last few corners we've seen. And Hooky goes P1 for now.
A 37.8 from Hooky. Ginaudi's really got a push now. He goes for the final corner up towards the line. It's a 37.9. He can't quite beat the time of Hooky. Mia Grandis obviously can't do no more. Red Wildfire in P7, 80 in P8. Taylor in P9. Harvey's in the pits in P10. Module Energy get up to P11. Liam is on a lap here. Liam is one of those drivers who can threaten the front row. If he gets a race, he's got a Ferrari in front of him though. He's got to be very careful. I think that's Alvaro Chabas. Get out of the way. Let's see if Liam can carry the momentum for the last couple of corners. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate at the same place this time around. As he comes through the final corner up towards the line, comes the McLaren driver. He goes P5 with 38.7. Let's see if the likes of Fiat Jackboy also on the lap. He's 1.2 seconds up. Let's see if he can move up the order. He goes P4 with 38.2. Brilliant lap there from him. Alvaro can't improve. He made a mistake. Podge goes to P6 with his one proper lap of the session. And Jennifer Lee is at the pits, and that will conclude what was a thrilling qualifying. We didn't know who was going to get pole this one. It looked like it was going to be a Mercedes dominance. Then it looked like it was going to be an LP1-2. But instead, it's the AlphaTauri of Hooky on pole.
Yeah, great lap from Hooky. He came out on there as well.
Yeah, Hooky did definitely have the pace. We've seen it in the earlier runs with some provisional pole before, obviously. AD and SDN decided to get their laps in. But he was the one who took the most risk, and it paid off for the Welshman, who gets his first pole position of the season here on the streets of Singapore. Also, worth mentioning, Podge has a 5-place grid penalty, so he will start in P11 instead of P6 around Singapore.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
That is not the way you want to start. As I say, Gennady will join Hooky on the front row, Fazer on the second row, alongside Fia Jacobo sitting in a brilliant lap at the end. Mia Grandis on the third row in P5, alongside Liam, who's starting P6. Vega on the fourth row in P8, alongside SDN and Red Wildfire. Rounding out the top 10, and 80, after what looked like such a promising qualifying, down in P11. And has a lot of work to do in the race.
Yeah, he went from P1 to P11 in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, it was such a close qualifying between the drivers. You know, there's points where 80 looked like he was well clear. And we've got a wet race. A wet Singapore race.
Ooh, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be a stonker. Forget the pace in qualifying. Forget the commitment shown by the drivers. This is a true test of concentration, skill, and strategy. And let's see which one of these 20 drivers rises to the test. Safety car is unreduced, by the way, so hopefully Bert does pack a lunch, but I've got a feeling he will be out a fair bit here for one way or another. Massive shout out to 28 viewers watching this morning. We know it's bright and early. We don't like getting up bright and early here. But here we got a 5 red light here in the bronze division, sponsored by Rock Solid Rigs. It's lights out and away we go. It's a great start there for Gennady from P2. Hooky struggling to get away from the front row. And through goes Gennady into the first corner. The LP making a dive at the inside. That's fatal contact there with Hooky. But both go through well. A little bit of contact at the back. Podge is dropping down a little bit as well. Drivers skating through. As is a virtual safety car already. You can just see the cars skating through the first couple of corners. 80 multiple positions here from P11 up to P7 already.
Not sure what happened there with Taylor and Harvey, but they're really far back. Harvey's just caught up now, but yeah, that looked.
Yeah, Lempin must have been involved in a little collision there off the start.
And do you know what? It doesn't even look that wet.
It looks borderline, however, you know, you take one risk on a greasy track, especially around Singapore, you're going flying into the wall.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very interesting now to see if it does stay for the majority of the race. As you can see, Gennady with that absolutely stonking start. Going for it at P1, he will lead us from the safety car restart. Hopefully drivers are watching a Delta.
Harvey's got no front wing.
Oh, there's a brake check there from Hooky on Fazel. And Fazel might have lost his win there. I think he was going over his Delta there, Hooky, and Fazel didn't realise Red's got the jump as well, and 80 towards the back. Mia Grandis dropping down. Liam going for a move around the outside. Mia trying to hold it. Liam slots in behind. The Mercedes of 80 now right on the back of Red Wildfire, really pushing her through. 80 just backing off. Red going wide. 80's about to go through now. Round the outside he goes. He's got to watch out for the wall though.
Oh,
he does. Red's into the wall. Red's into the wall. The contact behind. From I think that was Heighton. And Red is into the wall there. And it's got to reverse out of it.
Lost part of her front wing as well.
So Red's going to have to come into the pits. That's so unlucky for her. Ginaldi already has a 1 second lead. Hooky goes wide. That's going to be a warning here on lap 1. Ginaldi leads away in the pack from Hooky, from Fazo, from Mia Grandis. And obviously Liam seeming very, very quick there on that restart. Gaining multiple positions there as well.
Red and DJ Harvey both into the pits, as well as I don't even know how to say the Alfa Romeo's name. My bad.
Margeful Energy. Margeful Energy.
Margeful.
There we go.
Margeful Energy.
And Taylor also into the pits. As you can see, Fazel's right on the back of Hooky here, and Hooky's going to have to pick up this pace if he wants to keep the Alpine of Fazel behind. Fazel seems really, really quick on these conditions already, as Liam has a massive snap there coming out of 6. He's very, very lucky to grab back hold of that as AD's right on the back of Thea Jackboy. AD is absolutely flying here. And he's going for the move as well. AD's going down the inside. That is not a place you usually overtake. And it's contacted into the wall. I said it wasn't a place you usually overtake. There's not much room to work with. Hopefully no damage there for AD, but I can only imagine that there is. To his front left end plate. It looks clean on the camera, but you just never know. He's got so much pace here, he doesn't need a rush. As you can see, the two Alpines riding in tandem here as well in P3 and P4. Your mic's having a few issues, by the way, Billy.
Yeah, my bad. AD definitely has damage. You can tell by the way when he's turning the car in. And who's
Thea Jack's in the wall. Thea Jack's in the wall. Yeah, Thea Jack is in the wall. Collision there with Vega, it looks like, and he's struggling to get the car turned around, but he will do and get on his way yet again. Long race, still a lot to come.
AD doesn't pit, which surprises me because he's going wide at every corner. And here comes the Ferrari.
Yeah, here comes Mad J, who's currently up to P9, looking down the inside of turn 1. AD managed to hold his line, carry the momentum around turn 1. Good line there from AD, but you can just see as both drivers struggle to catch the car there. But they are struggling. Hooky has a 3.3 second gap to the McLaren of Ginaldi in front. And Ginaldi is really starting to get away in this race and pull a gap, and he's going to be hoping that Bert does sit on his backside. There we go, his face gets a stop, and Hooky, Mia Grandis goes through his teammate. So the Alpines inadvertently swap positions there. And speaking of Alpine, it's going to be very, very interesting to see who their next team principal is. Not, of course, in realistic, but in real life as well. With Otmar Saf now being relieved of his duties by the French outfit.
Yeah, I didn't read up too much on that. Oh, Harvey's left. Not sure what's happened there. I'll get him an invite.
Yeah, probably connection issues there for Harvey. As Mia's dropped 1 second off the Hooky. Mia just needs to recompose himself and go again. Harvey said his PlayStation's overheated. If you can, Harvey, when it comes back on, just come in and obviously retire your car in the pits if you can, mate. That'd be ideal. As STM makes a move on Jennifer Lee, moved on. It seems like Jennifer's come off worse off there in that collision with FGN. Definitely contact. Looks like Jennifer got put on the wall there.
Maggi as well.
Yeah, Maggi and AD still scrapping. Yeah. They're still scrapping everything. But to say, AD has definitely got damage in that Mercedes. He's going so quick now, he's 4 seconds off the train. As Fazel gets past Mia Grandis again, going into turn 1. Mia just didn't have the pace to keep him behind. And Fazel goes on through.
Around the outside of AD, he's going to let him through.
Yeah, but AD not really fighting that. And next up is the Williams of Height and then his teammate of SDN as well.
Vega's right on the back of Liam here as well.
Yeah, Vega looking like he's going to go for a move here on the McLaren of Liam. Down the inside, going in towards turn 6. Lay on the brakes. Space left by both. Liam goes wide, Vega goes through. Great move there from the Norwegian driver, and up to P5 he goes. Liam gets a massive snap as well, and that's going to invite Podge into this as well. In the Aston Martin, so Podge now right on the back of Liam. He's looking for a move in a similar place where AD did and lost his wing. Podge, though, has the racecraft to sit behind and wait for the right opportunities, push them through. This technical section, though, is a yellow flag. I think that's for Ferrari. Of Alvaro Jabas making a mistake, but punch goes through and Liam has crashed! Liam has crashed and that's a safety car. Is Liam out? No, he's still in this race, but he needs to get going. Yeah, and that McLaren ghosted is on Liam, so he can reverse on out. Get back around. I wouldn't recommend going back into the wall, though. That's not going to do your car much good. But it's a good safety car here on lap 4. And Liam, unfortunately, crashing there. Just going into a chicane. Very easy to lose on the curb. We saw him there do that in qualifying, actually. We noticed it when he just went over that curb on, I think it was his second run. And he must have done that again, in unfortunately, in just wet conditions. He just went flying off into the wall then. But that 6.3 second gap for Gennady is gone.
It is, yeah, so Gennady won't be very happy about that, but majority of the guys at the back, Taylor, Red, Marshall, will be really happy about that because it brings them back into it.
Yep. Even Harvey's AI is back into this as well.
Yeah.
Even he's got a chance of winning this race. You never know around Singapore. It's SDN, I think, is into the pits here. And as is AD, they're going to double stack up Mercedes. And I think both of them need a new wing as well. There's AD getting his change. And I think that was Miyako at least picking up a time penalty under safety car.
It was, yeah, he picked up a 3 second net.
A 3 second under safety car. That is not ideal there from the Alpine driver, who had a brilliant start at this race. Going right next to his teammate Faisal. The Alpine is looking very, very quick here, but an almost rookie error there from Mia Grandis is going to put him right under pressure there from like Vega, Podge, Majay, Hyten. Basically anyone up to about P15. Obviously a couple of drivers. 80's on the dries. 80's on the hard compound tyres here.
Wow. And it's on the hard tyre as well, which is surprising because they're going to be the worst tyre in the wet.
I think his logic is hards go to the end. That's his stuff done. But the rain is not letting up here, and as you say, they're going to be the worst tyres for these conditions that he possibly could have went on. But he doesn't seem to be sliding about too much, though. I will say that. We'll have a look at the other drivers, what tyres they chose to go on. It is just 80 on the dries. Is this a masterclass or a master fumble there for the Mercedes driver? That is the question. He's 18 seconds back from Fiat Jackboy. We'll keep an eye on that gap to see if he'd even close it down in the safety car. But I think that'll be key to see if conditions are just enough to where he can be on the dry tyres. Maggi is also into the pits here. Let's see what tyre he chooses. Is he going to be a driver? And I know he isn't. He's going onto a fresh set of intermediates. Is the Ferrari driver?
I've got to be honest, AD doesn't look too bad at it.
He doesn't. You know, it's quite hard to tell. Slow, but he's not pushing, obviously. So, you know, that's a factor as well. But yeah, it's not like he's going flying into walls or anything. Good morning, Joshua, mate. How are you doing? Jay is also onto the mediums here. So we do have two drivers on the dry compounds. The rest are all on the intermediates. The freshest intermediate runner is as well Mad G in P10. There's a lot of drivers. Taylor is also going on to mediums here. Has AD found a Chico here? STN also onto the hards. Is it the crossover point?
Maybe it is. Maybe AD actually knows something that everybody else doesn't.
Well, he definitely had the pace AD. I'm not going to question any of his choices today apart from that overtake, which probably wasn't the best in hindsight. Harvey gets a wing change and medium compound tyres. And yeah, I think when you start to see a quarter of the field go to dries, it is probably time for it. And if it is, AD will come out in the lead. He has everyone in front of him has to pit. AD's going to inherit the lead. The question is, would the likes of Gennady, Hooky, Fazo also agree that track still looks damp? There is dry spots, but it still looks extremely damp and treacherous. And of course, we haven't seen the cars at full speed either since switching onto the dries. But I think all eyes are going to be on Gennady yet, see what he does. Does he follow the suit of those behind, or does he choose to stay out on the intermediate tyres? All of these drivers know what the forecast is going to be. Gennady stays out.
Struggled turning in. I've got to be honest, I don't know what the right decision is here. Do you stay out?
It's going to be a question of when the rain completely dies, and if it does completely die off. It could be that it's about to die off, and the drivers are kind of reading into that by pitting on the dry tyres under a safety car to not have to pit again. Only time will tell, of course, but the track, to me anyways, it doesn't look quite ready.
No, it doesn't.
It looks like if the rain intensity starts to calm down a bit more, 3 or 4 laps. But of course, anything can happen, and with the safety car being out as well, that does bring the time down, of course, with the weather. But yeah, this restart's going to be ultra interesting here. Has AD made the right call? Has Lighted J made the right call as well? Time will tell in this race, but it's going to be a very, very interesting restart. The safety car will probably come in at the end of this lap, here on lap 7. But to me, the rain looks like it's actually getting heavier, rather than the other way around here.
It certainly doesn't look like it's slowing down. And Harvey's losing time by the looks of it to the next car, which is SDN, who's on the hards.
Yeah.
Harvey's really needs to push if he wants to get behind the safety car as well.
Yeah, I don't think he can push it off, and that's the issue. Safety car is in this lap, so Harvey is going to be left for dead here in this race essentially. And Gennady will get us underway on the intermediate. It seems like the tyre to be on at the moment, but let's see if the hard tyres do come good for likes of AD and his teammate SDN. They get a lot of leeway here in terms of the safety car coming in. Came really early there on the lap. Not like I'm going to be leading the race in silver, but if I am, I wouldn't mind the safety car coming in at that time. Yeah, safety car is just getting around the final corner now, so Gennady will be able to go when he does feel it's appropriate. And he has gone, the McLaren driver, and he is closely followed by the rest of the pack here as he goes through the final corner. I've got a feeling we're going to see at least one spinner here, and Gennady nearly loses it. A few drivers behind also nearly lose it as well, as they all come through the final corner. And that is Fazo there, right on the back of Hooky, trying to make a move. Hooky dropped off by already 1 second, really struggling for our last corner. And he has lost positions. Also losing positions on the likes of Liam. Vega's also lost it. Vega's around. In the Alfa Romeo. Vega's got to come right for the field. Yeah, Vega's got no front wing. And it is another safety car here on lap 8. March went into a pit even before the safety car was over there. And he has come back out on the intermediate tyres. So AD gained the place off the safety car restart, but I don't think that's all of his doing, and more drivers in the wars.
More luck than judgment, I think.
Yeah. And it's going to be a question now, it's very hard to tell the rain. There we go. But it's going to be interesting now. Does AD abandon the hards? Or does he stick to his call? Because he had the pace on the intermediates. Bassini had the pace. He was so much faster than most of the drivers. But is it a case of where he feels like this is the perfect strategy in terms of getting into the lead of this race? I just want to overtake the whole grid to get back towards the front. Hookie's also been left for dead twice now by Gennady in this race. So Hookie's got to be ultra aware on this restart now coming up, because he's got 2 lifelines now in terms of trying to keep with Gennady, and he hasn't done it on either occasion so far. I think that's why the Alpine's diving into the pits. It is why the Alpine's. It is Faisal. Faisal coming into the pits. Let's see what Faisal is doing.
The dries.
Heighton also in. Let's see. Is it dry compound tyres? Is it intermediate compounds? Medium compound tyres for Faisal. They are going for it here. Most of the grid towards the back are also going for it.
Hard for Liam.
Hard for Liam, of course. There's 22 laps to go here.
Hard for Vega as well. Heighton's come back out on the inters there.
Heighton fresh inters.
If you go on the off-board camera, it does really not look very wet.
It doesn't. We were saying this off the start, though, weren't we? It just kind of looks gritty, the track.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's not a lot of light going through some parts of the track. You can see the dry line is starting to form, though. You can see it. I'm just on both height and here. You can really see the dry line coming through sector 1. Again, we asked the question: master stroke or master error? That is the question. Gennady, who was absolutely dominating this race, is he on the right tyre at the right time? That is the question. You and everyone else are going to be praying for this safety car to go straight into the pits. If the weather is dying down there, we're going to want to have the advantage for as long as possible on those intermediate tyres. I think there was a race this season where I tried to do it from the lead and I stayed out in the intermediates. And I think I got 1 lap where they were faster and then just got eaten up by the dries. Ended up dropping right the way down the field.
Definitely does look like it's getting drier and drier, but it's still raining, so... DRS not enabled either, which is usually a...
My G's into the pits. And can I just say, AD is now up to P6 here.
Wow.
He's not even had to make an actual on-track overtake. The last 2 safety cars did all the work for him here. Just give me 2 seconds. I've just got to quickly return this phone call. Safety car time was actually good for once. right, safety car should hopefully be in at the end of this lap. And hopefully we can be go, go, go to the end of this race. And I'm not going to lie, Billy. I'm not sure if you watch any other, like, the quote-unquote pro esports leagues. But I've been watching quite a few of them recently. And, you know, the standard of racing hasn't been up to par of previous years. Do you think it's more? Do you think it's more of a game in the way the cars handle, or do you think it's a case of, you know, the newer generation kind of coming through, and of course it's kind of getting a little bit more heated, so to speak?
Yeah, it's probably a bit of both. To be fair, it's weird when the game first came out. Everybody was sort of saying about how much better it is than the previous year's game. But after playing it for a couple of months, I still do find it quite similar in a lot of aspects. The handling's obviously a lot different, but yeah, I suppose it's made up of multiple things. Getting used to the game. A lot of people get used to games quicker than others. So
exactly, it is kind of it's rearranging the skill gap. It's we look at like the Thomas Ronhar, who was dominating by 3 or 4 attempts every qualifying session, whether you know legit or not. You know, it's up for debate. You know, I think only he knows that fact. But this, yeah, it's never been proven. It's never been proven. You know, people do mention it, but you know, it's never been officially, you know, proven. So you know, he is a good driver in real life. Ron, he has won a lot of actually tournaments in go-karting. So it's not like he's no slouch. Ben will either. Well, if you've seen him in real life, he is a bit of a slouch, but you know, not behind the wheel. It's a very, very quick driver. As we just see there, Hooky pit as well from P2. And he has dropped right the way down to P17 in the AlphaTauri, going onto the medium compound tyres. So Hooky thinks it's time. The only drivers out on the intermediates are the top 4 and Red Wildfire. And I've not seen a scenario like this in a long time when racing, so it's going to be very interesting to restart. Either 15 people have got this horribly wrong, or 5 of the race leaders have made an absolutely colossal error here. And I am so intrigued to find out which one it is whenever Bert decides he's of driving around the track at 5 miles per hour. He has now. Ryan Dalpavine says Faisal for the W. Faisal's had great pace here this weekend. It's very highly possible that Faisal can pull it off here. But the safety car is in at the end of the lap, and Najari will lead us away once again here. As Harvey gets a 5-second time penalty for overtaking under safety car. Let's see how this Ginaldi does do the track. Looks like it's drying more and more with each passing lap. And he is. Go, go, go! Yeah, we're honestly just Singapore yet again. Ginaldi goes through the final corner. And we are away. Mia Grandis back by 5 tenths as all the cars start filtering through now. And you see the Haas nearly going flying off the track. That was Taylor in the background. Let's see how the Inters do look compared to the dries. And Adi is hanging on. Adi's hanging on. And as you say, it stopped raining, Billy. Adi is hanging on to these intermediate runs. He's faster than them. Look at the run he's got. This is his moment, Adi. He's going to have to dispatch of Jennifer Lee and get right away at this field. He's got to go round the outside. It's not the ideal line. Jennifer goes deep on the brakes. Adi goes through. What a move there for the Mercedes. So patient. Echo fixed it, but 80 does go through here up to P4, goes to Mercedes on the dry tyres. 80 now hunting down the likes of Podge, Mia Grandis,
and get through whilst these guys of Taylor and Red and Jay all try and get past Jennifer. He could be in a really good position. 80 could be 5, 6, 7 seconds up.
Oh, that's a massive snap for Mia Grandis. Mia Grandis has a massive snap there that allows Pod through. 80's not quite close enough though. But as you say, Taylor and Jay have got to get through like some Red Wildfire. As Red goes into the
Red's
wall
hit the
then.
wall.
Yeah, Red goes into the wall then. And there's absolute chaos behind. The ride's on a faster tyre. As you can see, heightened dropping down. There's been a collision there in sector 3. The Haas going wider. I think that's Jay. And the Alpine into the wall. That's Faisal. Ryan Del Pavina set a curse on Faisal. He drops down the field. Round the outside. Goes to McLaren.
There's
Of Liam.
carnage.
There's absolute carnage, yeah. Up and down people go throughout the field. So
And AD's going to be up into the leader. AD is in the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix, and
yeah.
Jenna's pit as well. So Liam is actually into P2 and Fairjack P3.
Wow. Fairjack is right on the back of Liam as well, on those medium tyres. Let's see what he can do in that Aston Martin. A 4-second gap between AD and Liam. I will say though, AD, although he's in the lead, he picked so much more earlier. It's a massive snap there for Liam. And Fairjack Boy is going to be deploying all the DRS down the straight. Liam's just got a much more top speed setup compared to Fairjack Boy. He just can't get the move done. So hard to overtake around the streets of Singapore. Hooky also up to P5 despite pitting and coming out second last. That was an absolutely, I won't say genius play for him because he could have pitted earlier. But he made the call what the other leaders were reluctant to do. Fairjack Boy also still right on the back of Liam. Of course, on those medium tyres compared to the hards, they will die out towards the end of this race a lot more. But for now, there will be an insane pace difference between him and Liam. Liam again really struggling, but so did Fairjack. They're really struggling on this gritty track. Jay's got hit from behind by STN. STN now goes through. Hooky also goes through up to P4. Goes the Welshman. Gennady, who was absolutely dominant later, 7.3 seconds back from P10 of Faisal.
Oh, he's left the session again.
Vega as well goes through on Alvaro Chabast. Vega making a very good move there around the outside Alvaro Chabast and through he goes. Now Fairjack Boy is again right on the back of the layer. I think this is the battle to watch. If Fairjack Boy can get through, I think he can actually challenge AD for the win of this race here. But he's got to get the move done as soon as possible. Liam's lose so much more ERS than Fairjack Boy as well to keep him behind. Jack waiting for the right time here. As you can see, with all that carnage, the field is so spread out here. Margin for LG also right on the back of SGN. There, the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes also battling. Red Wildfire picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Fairjack Boy, as you can see, right on the back of Liam and still pushed him round. I think Mad G has just come into the pits for a tyre change as well. As we go towards the hairpin now and under the bridge we go. This exit, I think, is going to say a lot. Liam finally gets a clean one. And it does give him a little bit of breathing space there from Jack as well.
And they are slowly catching AD here.
They are.
8 tenths in the last
they've
3
got the
laps.
fresher tyres. They've got. Oh, there's another safety car.
Safety car. What is that for? We've not had a single DNF and we've had 3 safety cars. It's on reduced as well, right?
It's on reduced, yeah. Same as last week. It's why I kind of say with this game, you just can't have safety cars on. Because then this happens, it's just safety car, safety car, safety car. Constantly, it just ruins the racing.
It's so, I don't get it. It's just weird. It's on reduced. Maximum they should be on reduced is like 2.
Yeah.
Obviously that's not how it works, it is 5, but...
Not even just that, it shouldn't be for like, there wasn't even an incident. Like...
Well yeah, unless we've missed something, but yeah, if we have, it must have been the most minor of things, so...
Yeah, I'm going for the field to see if anyone's lost a wing or something, but I'm not seeing anything. Oh, there we go. Taylor's lost his wing. That's probably what's caused it, yeah.
I mean, I sort of get it, like, in real life, if a driver loses a front wing and it's in a bad position, then there will need to be a safety car to go and retrieve it, but I just don't
It's
get
a video
get it in the
game.
thing.
EA
Yeah,
Sports, it is a video game.
it's not like there's people running out on the track.
Well, I'm sure I can add that.
Oh yeah, maybe.
As the two Alfa Romeo teammates have come together under safety car, and Vega's got a 5 second time penalty.
No. Here's a good question for you. What in? I know we've only just got this game, but what in the next game would you like to see added or
In the next
changed,
game,
for that matter?
I said everyone was so hyped about this game. I said I want one thing, and that's good servers and the ability to race properly. That's the only thing. You can make the game as good as you want, but if the online is bugged, if league racing is bugged, it just ruins the whole game. And you see, there's so many issues still with league racing. You can't have red flags on. You can't really have safety cars on without it causing issues. You know, you can't even have a formation lap on without the lobby glitching. You know, these are things which should just be normal things that you should be able to have on. You know,
Yeah,
especially when it's a league race, the host should be able to control if there's a red flag, when there's a red flag.
yeah. That's. I don't get why they didn't do it like that. If I get for like career mode, you can't just decide when and
Yeah, exactly. You know, that
where you
makes
want a red
sense.
flag. But for online, let the host click a button to say red flag or safety car.
There should be a league racing specific multiplayer mode where when you go into it and you set up a lobby, you get specific settings to where you can control the race.
I mean, there is a league sort of
There is a league
mode,
format,
but
but
it doesn't
yeah.
let you do anything along those lines, which is it's probably something that's so simple to add as well.
Oh yeah, the million things that I do add, I think they're more bothered than, you know, Max Verstappen liveries and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we get it. Max is going to win 85% of races this season, and Checo's going to win the other 15 with Max DNFs or something. But you know, yeah, we get it. As Harvey is retired in the pits due to his PlayStation issues, so he is the one sole DNF in this race. So I will say credit to the drivers on that because this is a very difficult track,
yeah, definitely.
and they've all come through it extremely well here. There's been a few incidents, there's been a few coming together. However, they're all still here and they're all still fighting. Don't worry, Harvey, it's all good, mate. It happens. There's nothing you can do about that. It's kind of mad, actually, that we're saying that we're thinking about the next game rather than this one. When
Yeah,
you're saying stuff like that, you know this game has so much potential, but it just hasn't quite lived up to it. There's been some really good things added. There's been a lot more.
yeah,
The handling seems a lot more realistic. We can be frank about that. It does feel a lot more real life based. You know, the throttle's still not there to where it should be, but for the most part, they've done a good job with the handling model.
yeah. I think everybody thought it was going to be this award-winning game that you couldn't pick fault with, but
They're forgetting who was making
unfortunately,
it.
yeah,
Unfortunately, with the although there's a single one that is perfect, the simple fact was, if there was a perfect game, nobody would buy the next one.
yeah, that's very true. Got one more lap of safety car. Brilliant.
At the start of every FIFA, the game is always good. Everyone always enjoys it, and then a weekend there's a patch, and the game's pretty much mediocre for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it's a little bit different with games like that though, where well, I suppose it's the same for F1, but obviously all the teams get updated and kits
Yeah,
and stadiums and stuff. But I think there's only so much you can really change that aesthetically like that with F1. You
with
need to
F1,
change
yeah.
it and make it a better game rather than just changed the drivers and teams. And
it's a lot harder for F1. You know, you can't. There's not like, as you say, 50 leagues, different players. You know, stuff like that. You've essentially got the same 20. Well, we'll say 21 drivers this year because you know. We'll still count Nick, even though he only lasted 10 rounds. But you know, you've got basically the same 21 drivers that you're working with. The only thing you can really do is like the liveries, like the one-off liveries, like Ferraris bring them on out for Monza, which looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing. I think that's due to the victory in Le Mans. They're bringing out a custom livery for that, so I'm looking forward to seeing that in game. But you know, the main thing is for the F1 is the gameplay. That's the only thing that they can really tweak to make the game, you know, better. Can't bring like add-ons or anything like that, so it is going to be scrutinised. Safety car is in this lap. Take a breath. Hopefully no more, because I am absolutely sick to death of waiting under safety car for a good 8 minutes for him to do 3 laps around Singapore.
Yep. Just over halfway through the race as well.
Yeah. But let's say Adi will lead us away for the first time here. And let's see what he can do in the Mercedes. He's in the position where we thought he'd end up if he got the strategy right. He did get it right. However, he does have a tyre disadvantage. And he's going to have to win this with raw speed. And he does go, yeah, or he tries to. I think he's hit the limiter. Oh, he lost the car already. He's trying to get on the power. Now Liam's right on the back of him, yeah, going in towards turn 1. Hooky also getting past via Jack in the background. Down the inside goes Liam, just a little bit far back. Hooky and Jack Boy have collided. Jack Boy's in the wall. Hooky has put Jack Boy in the wall there in turn 1. They're both battling. Vega now up towards P5. Him and Monza for energy battling. Vega dropping down. That's the McLaren of Gennady also on the back of Alvaro Chabas there in the Ferrari. As again, another chaotic start there. Eddie really struggling to get away.
Going around the outside of the Mercedes is Podge.
Yeah, the Mercedes though has the inside line and pushes Podge off the track. Podge now going down the inside there of the Mercedes. That's there's a little bit of contact between the Alpine behind as well. The Alpine does go through Mia Grandis. Oh, there's contact! He's around the Mercedes, around the STN. There's a massive pile-up. There's a 4-car pile-up. Wow.
And that's a Haas of J out.
Yep, even with ghosting, a 4-car pile-up.
Now, that makes sense. How is there no safety car for that?
And there's absolute chaos at the back there. Too energy drops down the field massively, yeah. After what was a good start.
There's no safety car for that, but where Taylor lost his front wing, there is.
Yep, Liam is right behind Adi here, really pushing him through. You can see the tyre difference in 4 laps. It's going to play a massive factor here. A lot of drivers involved in instance. It's going to be a very busy evening for the stewards. Alvaro Chabas and Podge going side by side in sector 3. Podge again trying to force his way through here. Alvaro just saying, you can go, mate, I'm not having you ruin my race. Oh, and the Alpine goes around the outside. That's Mia Grandis as well. What a move from him. And he goes through as well. Hooky staying on the back of the Liam and Adi as well. But right now, this race is obviously anyone's to win. As you say, all the safety cars have been brought out. That was definitely the one way you expected it to be brought out because of the 4-car pile-up.
Yeah.
You get absolutely nothing from the game. But yep, Hooky is right at the back of the lane here. I'm really pushing him along. And those mediums will have a lot more grip than the hards, but Hooky just not able to make the pass as of yet. Yes. Oh, he gets a massive snap there, Adi. And Liam goes through the lead. Close behind us, Hooky. Hooky also looking to go past Liam. Down the inside he goes.
Going down the inside.
They do well to not have contact. 80 follows through behind. Closely followed by Vega as well.
Good move from Liam there. Just took advantage of the mistake from AD.
Yeah, exactly. He's making a vital error there, and he has dropped right away down to P3, and with the more worn tyres, you can just see him already dropping off. So Liam is in the lead, Hooky following close behind. We know what Hooky's like, he does not shy away from the move. DRS is enabled for the first time in this race, here on lap 20. And I think this is going to be very interesting to see how effective it's going to be for the remainder of this race. Suki gets a very, very good run, and this is going to be the move here on Liam. Down the inside. Liam can try and hold it around the outside. He breaks late. A little bit of contact between them. They stay on the track, though. That's going to give AD a chance to close back up to them here as well. Ginaudi is also in this train, by the way, and he is one to watch here. Hookie's still about 2 tenths back as well from Liam. Oh, you just see Hookie's got so much more speed, you just can't use it. Liam really struggling out the airpin, and here comes Hookie yet again, using the RS down the inside. He goes for the second time in this race. He goes deep, but the move is done for the AlphaTauri driver. He's into the lead of this race. Liam following close behind, joined by 80. Next is Vega, then Ginaudi, then Podge, then Mia Grandisa, all fighting here from P7. Anyone can win this race here.
Yeah, it's so tight at the front there. Everybody within a few tenths of each other. AD just dropping back a little bit, and Kieran as well. Liam as well, just dropping back from Hooky.
Yep. Hookie's already got a 1 second gap. That's
Yeah.
how much the mediums are worth in clear air. Hookie now has got to keep pulling away. Break the DRS of 1 second. As Faisal gets a 3 second time penalty for corner cutting as well. Alvaro getting passed by 2 cars on the straight there. Taylor and Jennifer both going through. There's contact there around the outside. Oh, and Alvaro's been shoved off the track.
Oh.
That was an absolute scruffy mess there at the back. Vega now right on the back of AD as well. AD already flashing in this race. Oh, and Vega's around! Vega spun it on his own.
He's dropped out of that pack.
Ginaudi is now right on the back of AD. But neither of them have ERS to work with. You see, Ginaudi losing a lot of traction there on the exit. But luckily enough, Podge didn't get a good run. Otherwise, it would have been seriously under threat there. Now the Alpine Faisal's right on the back of Taylor. I'm going to go for a move down the inside. Thinks better of it, the Alpine driver. Taylor already flashing. Faisal's got a lot more ERS to burn. Podge side by side with Ginaudi here. Ginaudi nearly gets the move done. Nearly hits the walls on the outside. Them two going side by side through a set of frames cost them so much time. Now the Alpine and Mia Grandis is also there. This could be very interesting to turn one. DRS is enabled behind for Ginaudi, and he's trying to get closer to his teammate and trying to push for a potential McLaren double podium here. I think this is going to be the moment for Ginaudi where he has to try and get past Podge. He just doesn't have the top end speed to do it though. Oh, and Haley goes really wide then into the wall. And this is going to invite the likes of Podge and Ginaudi onto him. Does he have damage there, the Mercedes?
He has dropped back dramatically from from Liam as well.
Yeah, I think AD might have
Really
picked up
struggling
damage from that last run. It's a tyre, 17 lap old hards now, even under safety car. Your tyres still get more down the inside, looks Podge, late braking, move not on there.
Still another 9 laps to go for AD as well. He's going to really struggle to have any sort of pace towards the end of the race.
Yeah, but but those medium tyres will wear off probably towards the end of this race. We'll wait and see how much it does affect the AlphaTauri, as Podge is really pushing it. 80 goes wide, yeah, 80 definitely has damage, yeah. But he is fighting for a podium and you'll give it all. 80's into the pits. He can't do any more. He's got to change his win. Off the track goes Podge. Through goes Ginaudi. Mick also going through as well on Podge. Podge trying to hold it around the outside. Goes off the track. And yep, McLaren double podium is on here in Singapore. As Mad G is also right on the back of Heighton. Heighton goes into the wall. He's probably got damage as well after that.
Hooky just pulling away now. 4.5 seconds the gap to Liam. 12 lap old mediums though, he's going to be struggling towards the end of this race.
Yeah, I think Ginaudi is going to come back into this towards the end. I think he's going to be the one to watch in terms of the one who could really challenge Hook in this race, but he's got to get a move on. As Taylor also gets past Janif, Jess had a little spin there as well. Taylor goes up to P7 on track. Faisal also looked for a move on height and move done there for the Alpine driver. Megarandis also right on the back of Ginaudi as well. Megarandis, of course, that 3-second time penalty, he's got to get a move on and try and pull out the range of Podge. I was saying Ginaudi is the one to watch. Maybe Megarandis is the one to watch here. He's absolutely flying in these latter stages.
Does have that 3-second time penalty there, Mir, so if he is going to make him reds, he needs to do it relatively quickly. DRS Open not quite close enough to Ginaudi to make a move. He's got Podge with him as well, does Mir, so I think like we said earlier, it's still open with the top 5 to who can win this race. Probably Hooky looking the most likely, but those medium are going to drop off relatively quickly. 13 laps on those.
Yeah, the question is how much are they going to drop off compared to the hards though? I think that would be just about even good towards the end of this race now. So Megarandis is still right on the back of Ginaudi as well, pushing them through. As I've kind of left Podge for dead, yeah, Podge 1.4 seconds back.
Oh, check, your mic has just gone a bit weird.
Apologies about that, there we go.
That's not much better. Oh, and that is Liam round. Or
Jennifer's also around.
Sorry. Ginaudi into the wall.
Yeah, Ginaudi's around, and also Jennifer spun at the same time. Ginaudi goes into the pits, yeah, Megarandis goes into provisional P3, but he just have that penalty.
So Ginaudi, from probably the best position, is going to be down to what's looking like probably P10. Maybe even worse.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely chaotic end to this race. Of course, SFR Madri just retired in the pits as well. So that will be one position gain for him there, as AD's now is back into the top 10. And what a race. What a chaotic race it's been for him. He's just behind his teammate now of STN. Oh, and that's Megarandis around. He's in the wall. Mia's in the wall as well.
Wow. So two of the top
Take your pick of a
four.
driver, and they've been to the wall. This has been an absolutely crazy race. All the
Only two
leaders had an
DNFs
issue
still.
at some point. Yep.
One of which was in the pits as well. So now AD is absolutely flying on those mediums. Brand new mediums. Hookie's got a massive gap now. He shouldn't lose it from here.
We're saying that, but most of the drivers have spun out in front, so.
Yeah, true. He can afford to lose a second a lap though, so he can just take it nice and easy.
Yep. He's got a lot of ERS though, Hookie, as well. He's still got about 30% there, you can see on the dashboard. Podge has got to stay within the range of Liam as well. Mia Grandis, despite spinning into the wall, it's still in P4.
Wow.
That's just how much chaos has happened in this race.
AD is absolutely flying. He could still pick up a really good result here, AD.
He's got a 5-second time penalty though.
That's not going to help him.
So yeah, he's really fast at AD. You can just tell he's gaining time almost every corner. He just can't carry the momentum through. Podge is staying just within the 3 seconds of Liam as well, to try and clinch a P2 here after the Swedish driver. And of course that result would also make him top of the championship yet again, Podge. He's not won a race this season, but he will have 3 podiums after today if he can hold this off. As Hookie continues to extend the gap here from Liam.
So this would be a good result for Taylor as well if he can keep it in and around P5-6.
Yeah.
First race back would be nice to be up there and getting some points.
Yeah, it'd be a massive result for him. However, honestly, I can't even judge this race in terms of how drivers have actually drove, because there's been so many instances, been so many mistakes. You know, it's hard to tell who's actually had the pace around here. You know, we've seen Fazer with the pace early, 80.
Tell you what, I think everybody's crashed. If you look at it, Liam has spun into the wall. I think Podge has had a crash.
Yeah.
Mir, Vega, Taylor, Faisal, AD. We've also seen them all hit the wall at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think next time we do this, I think we turn damage on standard. I think we need maximum pain.
I agree.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think half the drivers should be in the wall and then suddenly still be in the top 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think we'll look at that going forwards because obviously you don't want to punish mistakes too badly, but at the same time, as Podge loses the car and goes into the wall himself. Podge is so lucky to collect that. That podium nearly slipped right out of his hands in that moment. It's everywhere you watch.
AD's right on the back of Faisal as well now.
Yeah. We're going to be back on the back of Jenna as well for a number of laps now. She just can't get past the Red Bull driver. Faisal goes wide there as well. He's going to need to get this move done and try and bridge the gap to Faisal. He's going to need a 2-second gap now to Faisal to overtake him on track.
I think he's going to do that relatively easily if he can get past him here, which he's going to. Damage to him moved on.
He's now got to gain the 2 seconds though, without spinning or hitting a wall. Also, at that point, you can probably get Taylor as well. He's got to get it within a second of Taylor, and you'll get P6. So it's a good recovery there as Jelif gets the fast... Sorry, not Jelif, Genaudi gets the fast lap this race.
That's the way Mick gains the most time there. The Mercedes driver, Rady, out of the hairpin. He's gained almost 6-7 tenths there.
Yeah, but it's not just fresher tyres either. It's purely 80 pace here. You can see right on the back of the Haas of Taylor. And he'll probably look for a move on the straight if he doesn't get it done sooner. You can see Taylor really struggle on those tyres. Podge is right on the back of Liam as well.
Oh, and that's another penalty for Liam.
Yep. Lucky enough for him, Mia's got a 3-second behind. And he gets past Taylor on the start finish straight. Move done there for the Mercedes. Podge now right on the back of Liam. He doesn't have to overtake him on track, but it looks like he will here. The Aston Martin driver gets the move done into the braking zone, and he is up to P2 here. See Liam get a massive snap there on exit.
20 laps on those hards is not going to be fun.
No, not at all.
I'm talking 20 laps on hards. Vega is also on 20 lap old hard tyres. Is getting caught by half a second in that corner from 80 there.
He would need to make the overtake on track. I think Vega's may get removed. It was in the safety car where Vega got his 5 second. So we'll wait and see on that as well. So AD might make the move, but it might all be in vain, yeah, but we'll wait and see on that. But I think Mia will be kicking himself if he got that 3-second time penalty. AD made a little mistake there as well. He's lost a lot of time. The drivers in front. And Hookie's just having a little cruise out in front.
Yeah, I said he can afford to lose a second lap for the last sort of 7-8 laps, and rather than do that, I think he's gained a second lap.
I think it's just those mediums have really stayed in the window. They've just stayed in the window.
The hard seem like they've dropped off a lot worse.
He's not been making like major mistakes, either like all the other drivers. We've seen Podge nearly go into the wall of Liam. Again, Mia Grandis ended up in the wall himself as well. You know, Hookie's just drove his own race there and did exactly what he needs to. You can almost see by the way he's taking some of these corners now in higher gears. He's just bringing us home now, the AlphaTauri driver, as he should do. As Faisal and Taylor both battle, and Faisal goes off the track, but does go through on Taylor. As you see the tyre life, Liam on 21 lap old hards. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That is for Marshall Energy there, just towards the back. He's unfortunately dropped off there towards the end. AD now is right on the back of Vega as well. As you can see, AD now. He's the one driver who looks to make a move here. Fiat Jack also could look for a move on STN as well. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
think
right on the back of Vega.
I don't think it'll make much of a difference this move, but I think it will show how quick AD has been and it goes those fresher tyres. Oh, he gets a
Ooh,
massive snap though.
see just how much marbles affect the exit as well.
Yep.
AD has just been saving his ERS for the last 2 laps, so smart from AD there. Can get around the outside into turn 5, a little bit wide, but
He
he does
just
make the
kept
move.
his tyres on the track though. He just kept his two left hand side tyres on it. So yeah, moved under for 80. And I think it's time to just go on board with Hooky as I think he's just coming through sector 3 now. Is the AlphaTauri driver. He's just been so consistent this race. He made the choice of the leaders to come into the pits for the drives when they stayed out. On the enters, he made that call, even though it wasn't the best one for him. He dropped to the back. He's come back through after all the incidents as he comes through the final couple of corners now. Does the Welshman and comes through the final corner for the final time here in Singapore. And Hooky will win the Singapore Grand Prix, and we will now wait the full 10 seconds for his nearest rival of Podge Racing, who comes home to take P2 in this race. Very good result there from Podge. Liam will come home around P2 on track, but he will get overtaken by Mia Grandis with his additional penalty. So Mia Grandis is on the podium here provisionally. 80 finishes in P5 ahead of Vega on track. Faisal wins with less penalties. Of course, goes past Vega. He goes into P6. And then the rest will just come on through now. Thea Jack's got 8 seconds worth of penalties. He's going to get overtaken by SDN on the line. So it should be SDN in P9 and Thea Jack Boy rounding out the top 10 here. But a very, very weird race to watch and commentate on. You know, I think you can kind of tell by my tone in the last part of this race. I'm not quite sure what to say on that because it's such an unusual race to watch. But Hooky comes through all and takes what I think is his first race win here in Formula 7.
Yeah, really good race from Hooky to be fair. Whilst everybody was making mistakes, I think he was sort of probably the only one that we saw didn't make a mistake. He was consistent in the last few laps, did everything he needed to do, and 21 laps on those mediums. It couldn't have been nice, but brought it home 10 seconds clear of Podge.
Yep, but an absolutely amazing driver to say for Hooky. No mistakes on track. And he does go home as your race winner here in Singapore. We'll save the top 3. Do want to come in for a quick interview. If you don't mind, Benny, I'll let you do the interviews because I've got quite a lot going on in the background, which is
Yeah, no worries.
slightly putting me off. Let me just ask everyone, just see if they do want to jump in.
Yeah, the Hooky. Hooky 66.
Yeah, I think we will get a chat with the race winner, but I think that'll be it in terms of the
Yeah.
interviews.
I'm trying to add him to the party. 1 second. I don't have him as a friend, so it's not.
Give me one moment. I think he's already in, by the way, but
Oh yeah, he
he
is.
is
Yeah,
he is he is already in. So yeah,
yeah. Hooky, you're already part of the party, so you can just join. Just check if anybody else is going to join.
it'll just be a
Doesn't
little
look like
bit.
Podge is yet. So Hooky, you there, mate?
Yep.
Hello, hello, hello. How was that for you, mate?
I'm sweating. I have a bucket.
I'm not
I have a
surprised.
bucket of sweat in my seat.
Well, mate, you drove really well. A bit of a chaotic race from our perspective. I think you managed to stay out of it mostly.
Yeah, I did. It was me and one of the McLarens for the first 12 laps. He disappeared into the sunset in the wet. I think he might have. If it was a full wet race, I wouldn't have finished P1. I'm confident that I wouldn't finish P1 if it was a full wet race. But yeah, no, it was good. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, mate, I can imagine you obviously decided to go into the pits under the safety car when it was still a little bit damp. Get on the medium tyres and took those to the end. Were they sort of struggling towards the end? 22 laps, I think you did on them.
Yeah, 21 laps. I had my one of my engineers that I use. He was in there and he was talking me through everybody else's pit stop strategies and people that were coming in on inters to hards and stuff. And it was a tough call, because it wasn't heavy rain, but even the race engineer on the game was like, we don't know which one's better. And I thought, I've got to make a decision now. When I did, because otherwise it could have messed my race up completely. So
Yeah.
I took a big gamble. When I come in, I was like, I don't know if this has worked out right. I don't know if I've timed it right.
I think you came out in P17 as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I come out last. So I was following. Is it? I can't remember which McLaren it was.
Ginaldi?
Yeah. So I was following him, and I was like, right, I'll do exactly the opposite to what he does. And I was waiting for him to go into the pits. I was like, right, he's called that too soon. But he didn't. He didn't come into the pits. I was like, right, I've got to go. I've got to gamble.
Well,
And then another safety car come out then, which kind of saved me a bit, because I don't think I would have gone to the end on the one set of mediums if the third safety car didn't come out.
yeah, I mean that crossover from wet to dry was me and Jack were sort of sat here thinking it looked a bit too early, and then we said we're staying from the start. It didn't even look very wet, so I mean the decision to go into the pits and get onto the dry tyres when you did was a good one. And obviously, is that your first race win this season?
It is, and it's my first race win on the game as well, so it's all good.
Ah, perfect. Well, mate, great drive, really consistent, no mistakes, and I'm sure you'll the driver of the day vote as well. We'll pick another two drivers, but I'm sure you'll be up there. So
Yep.
yeah, congratulations, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well done.
And that is it here for Formula 7 Racing, here in bronze round 6 at Singapore. And Billy, as we said, a very chaotic one here on the streets of Singapore. Obviously, Hooky proving to be the survivor of that momentum consistency before the start of the race. And it seemed like he was one of the few drivers who was able to do that. And obviously pays off with a massive 25 points for him in the AlphaTauri team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we say, it was a chaotic one, but I mean, somewhat enjoyable. Obviously, the safety cars don't help with the enjoyment of watching and commentating on the race, but yeah, it was. I think the chaos can sometimes cause excitement, so yeah, it was an enjoyable one for me anyway. And like I say, congrats to Hooky on his first win of the season.
Yeah, exactly. It's first round of the game as well. A long time coming there for the Welsh from the Hooky. And I'm sure it will be his last as well here at Formula 7 Racing. But that is it here for us here in bronze. We'll be back at 12:30, of course, for silver. Hopefully it's not as eventful a race for that one in terms of people going off and stuff. But
Yeah.
you never know on the streets of Singapore. But we will catch you all in a bit. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. And we'll see you all next week.
Yeah. Cheers.